What's up lads and laddies to another Siege video. Now in today's video we're doing a tier list. This time it's going to be different, alright? It's going to be better than the last one. I'll go based off my own thoughts and my opinions from playing these operators instead of just what people say and general statistics and shit like that. So yeah, we've actually got a new operator to the list. Zero! Yes, so I am of course on the Shadow Legacy version of this tier maker. If you want to check out whoever made this, they are right here on the screen or wherever. And there will also be a link to this in the description below if you guys want to try this out. So, let's start off. Okay, Bandit. Alright, Bandit's got a very strong SMG. Now, a lot of people would say he's overrated, but then, of course, pros know how OP his SMG is and how unique his ability is. So, of course, there are people like Mute now and operators like Kaid that do kind of overtake him at certain parts, like how Kaid can get hatches and Mute can get softballs. But I would probably still put Bandit in God tier. It's either Pro B, so high Pro B, or low God tier. That is generally what I'm thinking. So it'd be like an A- in the A+ grade. So of course here we have God tier, Pro, useful, needed. I've also got the rankings next to it, so you know, A through to F. So what I think would be. So we've got Amaru. Of course she's got an extremely strong LMG, right? I mean that G8A1 is OP as hell. And that SMG11, mate, if you can control the recoil on it, which isn't actually too bad compared to like SMG12 or the bearing, it is really unique. I mean, I absolutely love that weapon. It is like a little pea shooter. It kills so fast. It's a little laser. It's like, you know what I mean? But either way, I'd probably put Amaru in the Pro B+. Ash, of course, Ash is just a fragger. If you can play Ash and frag, then you've got your team in ranked. It doesn't matter about strategy when it comes to Ash. If you can frag, you've got your team. That's it. You've done your part. You've carried your weight. Now, Ace, okay. Now, this was a bit controversial in my last one. I did put Thermite above Ace, which was kind of my mistake because Ace has the AK to begin with, which is an extremely underrated weapon, which is so strong. But just in general, Ace's ability is like a mix between Hibana and Thermites, where he can actually go play it from long range, which makes it a lot safer to play, as well as the fact that it's a lot faster, the response time to it. So I would put that in God tier. Now, for Alibi would probably sit in the Pro tier. Her SMG is very unique. I mean, I know I've said unique a lot of times, but it just, that Storm, you know, the MX4, I think that's what it's called. No one else has it in the game, and it is, it's sort of like Mirror's Vector, except it has slightly more damage, and I'm pretty sure it's got more in its mag, more capacity. I'm not too sure on that. Buck, I would put in God tier, or Pro, because he did lose his nades, but generally, I would put him in God tier because he is still extremely OP. I mean, his shotgun can come in handy in so many ways, but that's sort of a tie between him and Sledge. I would say because his shotgun can reach higher up and shoot roofs, that's the only reason it would overrule Sledge, but because Sledge has nades and has an OP secondary, I would level them out at the same thing. Blackbeard, I would probably put in needed, not necessarily not needed, but his ability is very weak now. I mean, that shield doesn't really do much, but for covering Diffuser, if you know how to play Blackbeard right and hold the right angle, he does come in very handy. Capitao, I would put in useful. I mean, his para is really good. It levels out with his LMG. They're both very strong weapons, and they actually have the exact same stats, apart from capacity, I'm pretty sure. But his Flame Bolt can be really good for defuse. Oh, he might be in Pro, and his smokes as well. For them, I'll move them around later if I think there's changes to be needed. Alright, Blitz. Blitz, I would say, is in I would say useful as well. He does come in handy if you have him, but a lot of the time he's either, well, actually, Montang's got a higher ban rate than Blitz, but he's still banned sometimes, and he is not necessarily the best op you want. I'd rather have someone with a machine gun or have a Monty who has a full face shield, rather than just a shield that just, you can't actually extend out. Castle, I would also put in, I would probably put him in needed, but not necessarily useful, because his ability is, you know, his gadget can literally get fused through, and it can have ying. I'm pretty sure it can get yinged through. I mean, it can get destroyed by any soft breaching weapon. Also, that could be Ash, Sophia, that could be breach charges, so, and nades as well. So, I would say in a ranked scenario, you wouldn't want him. Okay, now Kavera. Ooh. Right. Cav, I would definitely put him Pro. I mean, I know Vigil is roughly the same sort of roamer, I guess. I mean, I would say he's stronger than Cav, but Cav's Intera plus pistol damage does put her up quite high. But a lot of the time, she either gets banned or no one necessarily plays her because they have other alternatives. So, for the moment, she'll be in Pro. Clash, I would also put in the pro scene. I normally put Clash quite low, but Clash is actually a very strong operator. I mean, she can deny so many things. It's like Smoke. If you play Smoke, you can do entry denial, especially on Bomb. It's quite handy. But Clash is really good. Like, if you know how to play Clash properly, you can help your team out to a huge advantage. I mean, when you're in that last 30 seconds and you're blocking their door and they can't get through, there's nothing to it. They can melee you, but you've got a taser, it's just insane. Alright, Doc. After his recent, not necessarily nerf, but let down to a 1.5 times scope, I would probably put him... I'd probably still leave him in the God tier, just because of how OP his actual doc stims are. Because, I mean, no one else in the game, apart from Finger, has anything relatively close to it, so it is very needed. It's really good. Dokkaebi, I would put in the Pro B+. She has good weaponry, but mainly because of her gadget, because even though weaponry is okay, the gadget definitely tops over her weapons. It's just really nice. Echo, I would probably have to put God tier, because he has a really OP SMG. I mean, it's automatically suppressed, and he's got his echoes. I don't know what his drones are called. I think they're called yokais. Yeah, I think that's it. Now, the yokais are very OP. I mean, that whole yokai scene is completely new and different. I mean, it's like, he can deny plants, you know how OP that is toward the team? Ella, I would put in Pro B+, of course, OP SMG, that Scorpion is amazing, and the concussions are so good. Finka, I would put in Useful. Frost, I would probably put in B+ as well. Frost can be a very strong operator if you know how to play her. You can't just put the Frost mats in the middle of the open, because most people will see that, obviously. Fuse, I would put in Useful, but in a ranked scenario, you wouldn't necessarily want to play Fuse. I know it's Bomb, so it's alright, but, I don't know, he's just a bit slow, that's all. Glaz, I would put in Useful as well. If you can play Glaz, I will not deny how OP his OTS is. I mean, or whatever it's called, his sniper, that semi-automatic marksman is so OP. I mean, you can spray with it. His ability is not so much useful, but I'd still put him there. Goyo, I'd put in the B+ scene. I mean, Goyo's ability is just insane. Like, it's so unique, but he has been nerfed down to 2 shields. He does have the Vector, which is quite a laser, but I think the Vector on Mirror is better now because it has the 1.5 times scope, where Goyo doesn't have that yet, I don't think. And he's also got Kaid Slug Shotgun. I think it's called TSGC or something like that. I'm not too sure exactly what it's called. But he's B+. I'll put Gridlock in the B+ as well. She is highly underrated, and I think a lot of people don't play her due to her appearances mainly, and because she is quite a slow operator. But her ability and her weaponry is just so insane, I don't see why you wouldn't want to play Gridlock. I've played her in so many scenarios as well. Hibana, definitely put in the B+ or God tier. Probably B+ since we've got a hard breacher up there already. Now, Yana. Yana's ability is okay, and I do see it played in the rank scene a lot, mainly in the golds, but you have drones. It's not like you need her, so I'd put her in probably Useful. She's still okay. IQ, I would have to put God tier. That G8A1, like I said, is just absolutely amazing. I would have put Amaru up there, but like I said, Amaru's ability kind of puts her down slightly, but IQ's ability is literally another Thatcher. It's really good. I know it doesn't do wall radius damage, but you can see any electronics. It really does give you the advantage. Same with Jackal. Of course, Jackal always gets banned, so he never gets played a lot, but I'd put him in God tier as well. Jaeger, God tier as well. Jaeger, of course, I know we got Wamai now, but Jaeger's ADSs are really good for insight, where Wamai's rather you want them outside of sight so that grenades catch onto roofs and stuff. You don't want grenades flying into sight, that's why you wouldn't want Wamai, you'd rather have Jaeger. And his assault rifle is so strong. I mean, his 416C carbine is just, woo. It is absolutely amazing, which is why I place him in the God tier scene. Kaid, I would probably put in B+, but he's got such a good AUG. And his secondary has a scope on it, which is OP as hell. Since I've already got Bandit up there for the moment, I am going to place him in B+. Now, Cully. Sadly, Cully is not necessarily needed because at close range, she doesn't do very well. I know she got a buff where she got Clash's secondary weapon, which is that automatic, well, it used to be a burst, but automatic SMG. But still put her in, maybe needed, but not necessarily not needed because she is a replacement towards Thatcher. Just because of that fact that she can replace Thatcher, because Thatcher gets banned a lot, I will put her in Useful, so that is up. Capcan I'd put in the B+. If you can play Capcan right and place them in the right spots, I mean, he is extremely OP. Like, Capcan is just on another level when it comes to playing trap ops. So I would put him, yeah, I'd put him there with Frost. Legion, I would also put it in the B+. I mean, Legion is literally just indicators. You know exactly where your Legions are. You know where someone could possibly be when they stand on them. Plus, it does damage over time. So if they're in a gunfight, low health, and they step on a Legion, they don't have time to pull it out. They might die from it. I've seen it happen in some Pro League games or like ranked games, you know, high games. Lion, I would also put in the B+. I know he gets banned quite often, or he's been nerfed a lot and stuff like that. He's not as OP as he used to be when he first came out, but he's still really good in that scene. Maestro, also B+. He is a strong LMG. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called the Elder 5.56. I'm not too sure exactly, but the LMG is just so OP. It's got such a high ammo capacity. And honestly, I do like how he has two choices between his shotgun pistol, I can't remember what it's called, and his Rhino pistol. I know that's the real life variant of it, I'm not too sure what it's called in the game, but that's the one where it's like the revolver, except it's got a lowered barrel, so the barrel's lowered down here to reduce recoil. I'm not too sure what it's called though. Maverick, I'll put in the B+ scene as well. If you can play Maverick right for defuse, if you want to watch, you know, your diffuser, or if you want to watch sight, or even just get a sneaky angle on people, it does come in handy. Melusi, everyone wants her nerfed. I'm not sure if she has been nerfed yet. She probably has. I haven't been keeping up to date with the newer operators, but she'd be either God tier or B+. I'll put her at God tier for the moment because her ability is so strong. I mean, unless you have explosives, I think that's the only way you can destroy it. You can't shoot it. I think you can melee it. I'm not too sure on that. Don't quote me on that, but I know explosives do destroy it. So I'll put her there for the moment. Mirror, also God tier if you can play her right. Most people would put her in the B+, or down here in the Pro. But if you can play Mirror right, and you know how to watch for those twitches, or your team's watching for the twitches, or you have a mute, she's just so OP. You cannot beat her, unless you have, of course, the banner or something. But yeah, if your teammates play it right, mute's really good with Mirror, or even Kaid. I'd say Bandit's okay, but then Bandit's quite predictable now. I mean, Mavericks know where the bandits are, because it's just centralized most of the time. It's either center, left, or right, you know, so if you just make a line, or even with Twitch drones, they'll know where that is. Monty, put in the B+, because in the ranked scene, he is still extremely OP. I'm not going to doubt that. Not going to say he's not, because he is. Mossy. Alright. Mozzie, again, another intel op I would put in the Pro tier. I mean, his intel comes in handy. It's better than Yana's because it's, apart from the fact that it's on defense and attackers already have drones, Mozzie can literally, you know, hack any drone. It's just so unique. I mean, like, no one else in the game has anything relatively similar to that, unless you count Dokkaebi for cams, but that's still not even the same thing. You can't move cams around like you can with drones and hide them. Alright. Mute. With his new 1.5 times scope, he is insane. Like, he is just a fragger now. I've seen so much people frag with him and his SMG. I'll put him high Pro B tier. So, if I could move him up here. And, either that or God tier. It's one of those two. Nock, I'd put in the B+ scene. She's also got a scope now, and she's got a hard breaching gadget. I believe one of those new pocket, square, hard breaching whatevers, and that is extremely OP, as well as her ability is very unique. I mean, she can hide from cams so well. Like, of course, when you run, she's not really quiet, unless you like crouch walk or slow walk, I think it is. But she does kind of level out as a alternative to Cav. So if they're playing Cav and you play Nock, I mean, you could probably get the benefit onto Cav, because of course Cav's on defense and Nock's on attack, but it really just depends. Now, for a lot of people who play solo queue or just play rank on their own a lot because they don't have a squad to play with, I would say Nomad is a decent operator. I mean, she's got two amazing weapons. I mean, her primary weapons are sick. That AK and that ARX are really good. But the main reason is because she can watch her own flanks without having to actually, you know, look behind her or have a drone or have a teammate watch a drone or have a teammate cover behind you, because you've got these air jabs. You've got 3 of them. They're so good. So it should be probably high Pro B tier. Yeah. I'll just move some of these operators around to what level I think they're on. So all the ones I think are high Pro tier will be on this top list here. That looks about right. I'll probably put... Nah, probably something like this. Probably bring Frost down one. Yeah, something like that. That actually looks really good. Oryx, I'd say Oryx is useful, but mainly because he can jump through hatches, not just because of the fact he can go through walls, but his passive ability is really good, as well as he has that strong MP5. Now, I would definitely put him in useful because he can be a useful operator for making rotates or just running around the map in general. I know he's a bit of a big roamer, but he's pretty good. Pulse, in the rank scene, I've seen him used so much he'll go under sight and throw C4s, and people are actually using him a lot stronger now. I don't know who's inspired this. I know it's always been a thing, but I mean, it's a lot stronger now. A lot more people are doing it, especially in the gold scene. So I'll put him in useful. Recruit, of course, not useful in comp because you can't play him in comp unless you have 0 operators whatsoever, and then it'll pick you him. Rook, I would put in Pro B+. Yeah, because Rook and Doc are pretty good, but I would say Doc's a lot stronger of an op. I think Rook still has his ACOG, I'm not too sure. But just Doc in general is just so good how he can heal. But yeah, I think for the moment that'll be it. Sledge, I'll have to put in God tier. I have to even him out with Buck. I mean, those two both you can say benefits to each one is different, but I would say, in general, they're both around neutral, so it's not too bad. Smoke, I put Smoke in the B+ or the God tier. I put him in B+ scene for now because he is just an amazing operator. He is so strong. I mean, he can literally deny plants. I mean, when someone's planting, you can just throw up Smoke there and they'll run unless they try to stick the plant, which is what I've tried to do, and it does not work out. I'll tell you now, you just die too quick. Tachanka, I would put in the until his rework comes through. If his rework came through, I'd put him in Pro tier 100%, but for the moment with his current loadout, I would say he's not needed necessarily, or probably not needed, because sadly Tachanka, like I said, is not needed. I mean, he's a fairly good operator, but until he receives his buff or his rework, he's not going to be really anything at the moment. Thatcher, you have to put in God tier. I mean, there is no other alternative. If you can play Thatcher to take out, bandits and stuff like that, or any electronics, Thatcher is the best to do it. I know IQ is really good as well, but I would put Thatcher over IQ every time. Thermite, I'd put in Pro B+, of course, who levels out with Hibana. They're both unique in their own way, but if you want to see results and make a huge hole, you definitely want to go Thermite, as well as because of his 5.56, or whatever it's called. Can't remember exactly what it's called, but his assault rifle is very good, especially from long range. Twitch, I'd put in B+. I know after a nerf, she's not as good as she used to be, but she still deserves a high ranking, because she's always been a good operator. Valkyrie, I'd put in God tier. If you can play Valkyrie right, I mean, I know she doesn't have a proper secondary apart from the Deagle, but her MPX is, even though it's a P shooter sometimes, it is really good, and her ability is OP. So you got a Nitro Cell and a shield, so it's really good for both beginners and pros to play her. Now Vigil, I'd put in God tier as well for roaming. That is just like highly recognizable. Everyone should know that he is a highly ranked roamer. I don't know who his alternatives could be. I would say Cav. I think a lot of people compare Cav and Vigil. But yeah, I'd have Vigil up there. Well, I would probably put in Pro B+, mainly because I've already got Jaeger in the God tier, but he would definitely be a high Pro tier. Warden, I would put in useful. Until they buff him or do something with his ability, it's not too good. It is good sometimes, but a lot of times you don't actually necessarily need it. So I will put it there level with Blitz. Ying, I will put in the Pro B+. If you can play Ying right, especially after all her buffs and nerfs and all that stuff that happened earlier this year, a lot more people are considering to play her, so that is really good. Zero, I would probably put Zero either B+ or God tier, because once again, he sort of acts like Thatcher. It's like a Volcam and Twitch mixed together, because of course it doesn't move, but it does shock. For the moment, I will put him God tier. Low God tier. Now, if you guys disagree with that, please let me know in the comment section below. Zofia also put in God tier. She is an alternative to Ashe if Ashe was banned or picked, so she is also a very decent operator. Now, is there any changes I want to make? Let's just take a quick look around. My only thoughts is moving either Amaru or Mute, or both of them, into God tier. We don't have Kaid up there, so I would probably put Mute up into the God tier. I think that's an alright decision. Nomad would be in the high Pro B+. But yeah, actually, I think this turned out pretty good. Castle, a lot of people complain in my last one I put Castle too low. I will give it to him that Castle is a fairly unique operator. Like, of course I'm saying unique for all of them, but they are all unique, you know, that's the whole point of having separate operators. But Castle is actually not too bad. He's fairly useful, so I'll put Castle up here. Backward, I'll still put a needed, but not necessarily wanted. I think this is it. I think that is the whole thing. Wow, that actually went really quick. Probably been like 15 minutes, I'm not too sure. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this and agree with it. I mean, this is for Shadow Legacy, and I'm actually kind of happy with this, how this turned out. Like being completely honest, this is actually very cool to see that we're getting new operator with a new weapon, because of course we don't often see that. So yeah, that's my tier for the moment. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that, and yeah, if you guys want to do this on your own, go check out the link in the description below. And to see more videos like this, like a map ranking and stuff like that, then yeah, definitely let me know as well. Now, I can't really do polls anymore because they removed the YouTube polls, but I'm wondering if you guys like my funny moment videos I've been doing. They haven't been getting much views, of course, but I do enjoy making them, and I get really good feedback on them, so I'm just wondering if you guys are down for that, or if you want to see a mix between that content and this sort of stuff, because if I want to do this sort of stuff as well, I could probably do every 2 days a video. No guarantees, but every 2 or 3 days I could make a video like this. Except, of course, it'll always be different. It won't just be tier maker, because no one wants to just see that. But you know what, that's it for this video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, I can't even do my outro anymore. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and comment down in the comment section below if this video helped you. And I'll catch you guys later. Stay safe.